Greetings, guys, girls, and glupshitos. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Crow Lector, and today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Shadow of the Empire Prince Xizor. If ever there was a regal gent in the Star Wars universe, it is Prince Xizor. He's over here looking like the big head of Oz, or like Zordon if he came down with food poisoning. Full disclosure, I don't really know a whole lot about Shizor, which is kind of weird for me. I am that prototypical Star Wars nerd that knows way too many background characters. You want to know about Mars Guo? I gotcha. In the arms of the angel. Plo Koon ain't no thing. Oppo Rancisis? Don't get me started on that Dr. Seuss looking dude. Prince Shizor? I don't really know him so much as I know of him. I was born in the 90s and introduced to Star Wars not long before the prequels came out, so Shadows of the Empire was around when I was getting into things, but I just never got around to consuming it in any way. Which again is weird because they went all out for it. I'm talking books, video games, soundtracks, comics, toys, the whole shebang. I want to say we had a copy of at least one of the books, but I never cracked that puppy open. When it came to reading, my spooky butt was all about goosebumps. So if there wasn't a spooky creature and a bumpy slime logo, I wasn't into it. That said, when it came to books I didn't read, I was still very much the kind of kid to see the cover and imagine all of these different adventures. So I feel like Shizor was still a part of my childhood, even if a minuscule one. So this is fun. It's like a new Star Wars character, even though he's been around for 30 years. According to his bio, Prince Shizor is the head of the galaxy-wide criminal organization known as Black Sun. Shizor uses his intergalactic shipping operations to execute favors for the Empire and carry out his own agenda. So basically, he's Jeff Bezos. And just reading that, it's interesting that fans crap on the prequels for being so politically minded and dealing with trade routes and all that, but it would appear that a lot of that began years prior to all of the prequels. Star Wars has always been political. It just may have, been a bit more subtle with it in the past. But I digress. According to Wikipedia, he's also a bit of a ladies' man, even if he often takes them out afterward. So yeah, good for you, I guess, Shizor. All Sheez here comes in the standard Galaxy packaging, and we finally get a color that is not a shade of blue or red, which is awesome. We get that nice deep purple, very Shizor-esque. Got that cool art there on the side and the back. And he is number one in the Shadows of the Empire line. We know that we're getting a Bausch Leia re-release and a Luke in that red armor. Word on the street is that the main hero, Dash Rendar, is also coming sometime in the future, which I know fans will be quite happy about. They've been asking for him for a while. But getting into the figure, this guy, gotta say it, is really, really nice. He's got some spectacular shelf presence. And that purple is a really nice change from what we usually get. I'm sure it's really going to pop on the shelf. Same with those gold accents there. They're really going to catch the light and stand out. Now, I want to say he does reuse some parts, most notably the legs and the wraps around the feet. I feel like I've seen those on a figure before, but I cannot, for the life of me, tell you which one. I scoured my shelf, but I could not find it. But if you know, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, though, I want to say he's mostly new. The textured skirt and robe I know has not been used before, and his shoulders are new. Obviously, his head and hands are unique to him. He feels very fresh, very unique. So kudos for that, Hasbro. Of course, the question is what parts of his will be reused in future figures. I'm sure we will get a shirtless Xizor at some point. Shirtless Xizor. Try saying that 10 times fast. Sculpt wise, very cool. Very much that humanoid reptilian vibe. He's got those nice long fingers, pointy nails. He definitely just got out of the space salon with those. I like too that they're curled in such a way where even just standing there, he's got a lot of menace. It's not just that regular kind of C grip holding hand that we get. His back has those really sharp reptilian ridges, and this is actually a separate piece from the rest of the body and the neck, which makes me think that we may see it again. And those ridges run all the way up to the back of his head, where we get those cool, kind of genie-esque ponytails. I never knew he actually had that smaller one back there. I only knew about the bigger one, so it was a fun little find. They even sculpted ridges on the little notch thingy on his big belt there, which is cool. And of course, being the head of the Black Sun Crime Syndicate, they did sculpt the Black Sun logo into the top of his staff here. They went with a nice, smug expression as well, which is very cool. We often just get sort of like these blank faced expressions on Black Series figures, but this one's got that wicked little smirk. Perfect for a slimy, kind of menacing villain like him. And we do have a little bit of soft goods as well. Now, I'm not usually a fan of soft goods when it's used for the entirety of the costume, but little bits like this, I don't mind. They drape quite nicely and they blow in the breeze. They don't hinder movement at all, and most importantly, they look natural. Obviously, they're not going to hold their shape like plastic would, so you won't really be able to simulate much movement, but that is a very small complaint. Articulation is the standard Black Series fare. We have a ball jointed head. The neck is a separate piece and a ball joint as well. Swivel hinge shoulders. No bicep articulation, but he does have, I believe, double jointed elbows. However, you're not going to get much double movement because of these little gold cuffs here. Swivel hinge wrists, a ball jointed torso, barbell crotch, double jointed knee that's nicely hidden under the fold of his sort of harem pants here, and a sort of rocker hinge on the ankles. The skirt piece is also soft enough and cut in a way that it won't really hinder movement of his legs. You can still manage to get some really nice poses. From what I've seen of him, he mostly just strikes these like really dramatic, fancy poses. Being the head of the crime syndicate, he definitely lives the good life, but it does also appear that he can more than hold his own in a fight. So, folks, I'm sure will definitely be wanting to get him into some cool poses. It's nice to see the love for Shadows of the Empire has lasted all these years. Obviously, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, a lot of the old material, including Shadows, was relegated to Legends status, so it wasn't canon anymore. But here recently, they've started implementing more and more parts of Legends into the new continuity. Xizor, or at least his species, the feline, have made appearances in season 7 of the Clone Wars and in some of the more recent Crimson Dawn comics. So I would not be surprised at all to see Xizor make an official appearance in one of the future shows or movies, just like they've done with Thrawn here recently. Maybe whenever Thrawn is finally taken care of, Xizor will be the next big bad. I know my interest has certainly been piqued after getting this figure. But what do you guys think of the new Prince Xizor figure? It's been a long time coming. So, did it live up to your expectations? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you again soon for more creepy Crowlection content. But in the meantime, don't forget, stay spooky.